Did you know that embezzlement is a $3.7 trillion problem in the US? And that over the past several years, there's been a rise in fraud schemes committed by employees in financial positions within their organizations. In fact, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners report that the US businesses will lose an average of 5% of their gross revenues to fraud. So this means that whether you're in the private sector or the public sector, and whether we're talking about corruption or billing or payroll or wire transfer schemes, inventory theft, financial statement fraud, or a range of other methods, financial fraud is a high-risk scenario that every business can fall prey to. And this is the topic of conversation for this month's Crisis Ready Community Mastermind Session. This month's Mastermind Session is going to be hosted by Danny Langloss, retired police chief and current city manager of the city of Dixon, which is a small town in Illinois. Now, this small town has a fascinating history. Not only is it former President Reagan's hometown, but back in 2012, Dixon made national headlines for being the victim of the largest municipal embezzlement in the history of the United States. This happened when their city's controller, Rita Crundwell, was arrested for embezzling just under, now get this, $54 million from the city over the span of more than 20 years. Danny, I'm so excited to have you join the community and share your experience in managing this crisis within your city. Can you give us a little teaser and let us know, what we can expect within this session on February 11th at 11 a.m.?
It really was a crazy time. Even though a lot of my career I've been in crisis as a police officer, nothing could have prepared us, the council, our team, or the community for this moment. We talk a lot in leadership about the importance of trust, but when you have a sociopath like Rita Crundwell, that can really be exploited. A person who started with the city as an intern in high school, a person who, came in full time following that, a person who was held to the highest regard. And so there was so much emotion connected to this with our elected officials, with staff, with the community. And, emotion's a really important piece when we talk about, in your words, being crisis ready, because we've got to understand what our key stakeholders are going through when we hit crisis, and we've really got to connect with emotion. And in this case, I think the emotion was fairly the same for the council, our city team, and the community. But it was so important early on to be able to connect through that emotion, because people were angry, people were outraged. I've never seen the council chambers filled that way until then or after. And what was to follow was so difficult. And so one of the things that we'll talk about is the importance of speaking with one voice. One voice leadership is something I've always been a huge proponent of. I've seen the devastation of when you don't, but especially in crisis, if you don't speak with one voice. And it was such a challenge to get these 5 elected officials to allow the mayor to be that voice. It was a challenge to have the mayor dial back and listen to, what it is that we wanted to communicate as a team, as a council, and to really have that pulled off in the right way. But so many great takeaways. If you're interested in crisis and fallout and, brand and trust and rebuilding trust, it's going to be a great session.
I can't wait. It really is going to be a great session. It's a fascinating story. And it's, like I said at the beginning of this intro, this is something that any business, whether government or private sector, can fall victim to. Unfortunately, it's a devastation. And it's also, there are tactics to not just manage it, to your point, with one voice and overcoming emotion, the right way and leading through the challenge, but also there are controls that every organization should have in place, no matter what the size of your business. And this organization, your city, being a town of 16,000 people, which is tiny, right, had 3 people in the office. So how do you, even as a small business, delegate and put the right procedures in place so that no matter what your size or no matter how much human resource you have, you are crisis ready, against this. You're not susceptible to it. So I'm super excited to hear from you.
Can't wait.
Awesome. So for those listening, for viewers, the Crisis Ready community, if you don't already know, hosts monthly mastermind sessions where each month we choose a topic that's really important to our members, and we invite an expert such as Danny to come and speak on it. These sessions consist of approximately 20 to 25 minutes of presentation, with the remainder of the hour being dedicated to live discussion amongst members so that we all walk away learning from each other, hearing each other's thoughts, hearing each other's experiences, and most importantly, with tangible, implementable takeaways that we can continue to strengthen and build and strengthen our organization's crisis ready capabilities and culture. So our mastermind sessions are exclusive to our community, which means that this is a members only event. And this month's mastermind is being held on February 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And if any of this sounds interesting to you, if you have any interest in crisis ready or have any touch point within your organization's crisis readiness, which is a vast spectrum of roles and responsibilities that you may fall under, then I encourage you and invite you to visit crisisreadycommunity.com to learn more about what this incredible community is all about and how to join. You can sign up now, get 15-day trial, and come and join us on February 11th at 11 a.m. Eastern and hear from Danny and take part in this incredible discussion. Danny, I can't wait to share in that time with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.